In a perfect world, there wouldn't be fees for anything. In a perfect world, I wouldn't have to wait weeks for my transactions on Ethereum to settle because I'm unwilling to pay the astronomically high gas prices that are going on right now. They're up like 14,000% since last year. That's insane. But obviously, we don't live in a perfect world. But we can take some small steps to make our world closer to perfect. The reality is, these gas prices are high for a reason, and gas is very important to the Ethereum network. So they're not just going to go away. So what we can do is we can be smart about it, and we can save a lot of money on these gas prices. And if you want to make my world perfect, there's only one thing you have to do. You just got to slap that subscribe button and the notification bell, because that'll notify you when I create new episodes. And you can also just put it in your brain because we post new episodes every day at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. This is all about new cryptocurrency projects, updates on some of the projects I've been following, cryptocurrency mining, and how to make money with cryptocurrency. So if any of that stuff sounds interesting, then you're in the right place, Coin Breakthrough. So to get all of you on the same page, let's just do a quick refresher. What is gas and why is it important? And how can we save money on these gas fees? Well, the first thing is gas is what you pay when you transact on the Ethereum network. Why is it important? Because it incentivizes miners to confirm blocks and make the network possible. So if we were to get rid of the gas, well then there's no incentive to mine, and the network's not going to be very secure and could potentially collapse. And then the third thing, saving money on the gas, well, there's just a few steps that I'm going to talk about in this episode. My first exposure to this high gas price was when I tried to buy a token on Ethereum, a DeFi Pulse Index. And this is a token that tries to basically distribute your wealth in various tokens and adjust over time. When I did this, I paid $440 or something. I don't remember exactly, but I do remember that the gas price was $50. So what that means is that in order for me to even make any money, the price of this index had to go up at least 10%, which, isn't totally wild in the cryptocurrency space. But if we're talking about investing, that is an insane amount to have to return just to start making a profit. And that doesn't even consider all the other transaction fees. This is pretty complex and pretty annoying, but basically, how do you get Ethereum? Most likely, you're going to get it from an exchange. When you're first getting started with cryptocurrency, that's the route most people go. So you buy Ethereum on an exchange and probably pay a fee, then you transfer it to a private wallet, pay a fee, then you buy something like an NFT or some other token like a DeFi Pulse Index, you pay a huge fee. And the same thing happens in reverse when you go to cash out. So you sell this thing, there's a fee, you transfer your Ethereum back to an exchange, there's another fee, and then you sell for fiat currency and there is another fee. So the more layers you have, you pretty much don't even have any money left. It all gets absorbed. So one of the big things you can do to reduce these fees is to keep as much money in that final destination as possible and not be swapping between fiat currency and a cryptocurrency. Keep all of your money as a cryptocurrency, and that's going to save you fees from the exchange, as well as fees transferring from the exchange to your wallet. Because if you just kept all your money in that one wallet and you bought and sold assets and you never had to transfer that money out to an exchange wallet or pay any kind of exchange fees, you're going to be a lot better. And then you can just transact for normal day purchases from that wallet whenever possible. So that's the first thing. Try to avoid exchanging to fiat currency. The second thing, when you transact big. So the gas fees are not a percentage of whatever you're buying or whatever the transaction is about. Rather, it's per transaction and based on the transaction type. What is going on behind the scenes for that transaction? Because if you study Ethereum, you'll realize that this is a machine. It's what's known as Turing complete. And this means you can develop complete systems on the Ethereum blockchain. But that comes at a cost. When you write a program to run on Ethereum, every step of processing increases the amount of gas for that transaction. So what that means is the more complex, the more expensive. This is why transferring money from one wallet to another is not terribly expensive. But doing something a bit more complex, like buying an NFT, that is going to cost you your house and your first child. No, I'm just playing. They don't take your house. This was actually my second exposure to these gas prices because I was buying NFTs. I actually collected two, and then my NFT hobby kind of came to a halt because I just wasn't willing to pay the fees, especially when more money was going to the gas than to the actual creator who made the NFT. So if you're doing this to support artists, just realize that they don't get that gas fee. It goes to the Ethereum miners. And if you're not really interested in that NFT and just want to support the artist, you'd be better off just to give them money through some kind of crowdfunding source or support system like Patreon, PayPal, or whatever it might be. Because imagine if you tried to donate money to someone and the fee to do that was over 50%. You'd be like, no way, that's ridiculous. I'm not going to do that. That's what's happening in the NFT space, where projects are being sold for $30, $40, $50, but the actual fee to acquire those NFTs in your own wallet is like 50 to 100 to 150. I mean, it is outrageous. So to see this in action, we can try out Uniswap, and in here you can transfer Ethereum to any other Ethereum token. So let's just say 0.05 Ethereum, and we're going to swap this to 1 inch. So far, not too bad. So we connect our wallet, and I'm just going to connect to my Coinbase wallet. Boom, done, and we will hit swap. So we'll confirm that swap and check that out on the wallet. So as you can see, the actual cost to me is 0.05 ETH, worth around 94.45, and then the miner fee is 94.89. So the miner fee is actually more than the actual thing being swapped. So if you're going to do this, you might as well swap an amount worth the transaction, because it's going to be a lot less noticeable if you're transferring, say, 10 Ethereum. So the next thing you can do to save on gas is to actually check online what the going gas rate is. So if you go to a website and you see rates that are drastically lower than your wallet, well, your wallet might be out of sync and you might be paying more gas than is necessary. The next thing you can do is some wallets give you the ability to pay more or less gas depending on how patient you are. So in that situation, maybe you could drop down to standard rates and wait a little bit, but overall the transaction is still going to go through pretty quickly. So you can see here, the measurement is in GUI. This is just a fraction of an ether, similar to how a Satoshi is a fraction of a Bitcoin, or how a penny is a fraction of a dollar. So if you want to know more about fractional Ethereum, you can check out GUI.io, and this is going to give you all those different options. So the one we're looking at right now is a GigaWi. It's just a funny word, but a GUI is 0.000000001 ether. So the way that final miner fee is calculated is each operation requires a certain amount of gas. The gas is multiplied by the gas cost to give us the final price. One final thing that you can do is for transactions where you're unwilling to wait, you can time them in the day or the week to save gas, because gas is not a constant throughout the week and throughout the day. Instead, it goes up and down based on the demand of the network. So certain times of the day are going to be lower and certain days of the week. So you can find charts and research that if you want more information. But if you have some transactions that when you execute them, you need them to go through very quickly, but you're not willing to pay an arm and a leg, then you might just want to time it during a certain time of the day. Now I have the coolest application that I want to show you, and I actually found out about this from Coin Bureau, so shout out to him because his videos are tremendously helpful. This is a visual representation of the Ethereum and the Bitcoin network, where each one of these people is a transaction waiting to be processed. And you can see the first thing is that Ethereum is pushing along much faster than Bitcoin. And you also notice that all these people are coming from different locations. So each one of these squares over here on the left refers to a different token. Remember that Ethereum is not just Ether, but any token built on the Ethereum network is going to contribute to those higher gas prices. And you also find that a lot of the most popular tokens out there are built on Ethereum. So the transactions that are willing to pay that premium price will get into that network as soon as possible. Those who are unwilling to pay that price will go in a little bit later. There are different things you could potentially do to increase this throughput, but each one has its own trade-off. For example, the train could go faster, allowing more people to go through, or the carts could be bigger, which would allow more people, in this situation, transactions per cart. Both of these solutions, though, are not usually the best solutions. They tend to drive towards a stronger centralization of the network. So a different approach that is actually being developed for ETH2 is to add more rails. So instead of just having this line here, we could have multiple lines like this. So having multiple trains would allow more people to go through. So that's part of ETH2, but there's also other things known as layer 2 solutions, which are designed to help improve gas prices with Ethereum. You can research those as well, and I talked about those a little bit in my video on whether or not Ethereum was dead. So that's just a quick summary of gas on Ethereum. I want to ask you one question though. What's something you would consider doing with Ethereum, but you haven't jumped into it because you don't want to pay the gas prices? Drop a comment below because I am interested in all of the different potential projects out there that are being limited by gas. Also, don't forget to drop a like to save 15% or more on gas prices. Stay tuned, I'll see you in the next episode.